Today, we're talking about Imprint's Steelbook edition of The BeastMaster in 4K. Yes, The BeastMaster. This is a blind buy for me. I cannot remember the last time I saw this, if I had seen it at all. None of it reminded me of, flashbacks or anything like that. The only time that I remember about Beastmaster and seeing it was we were at a friend's place and they had a copy rented out, but I never got to see it. So I don't think I ever saw it. It could have been a possibility because it had Tanya Roberts' boobs in it. I don't know, and that's the reason why I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I wasn't allowed to watch it. So I've only just discovered this film virtually, and like I said, it was a blind buy. It stars Mark Singer, who, of course, we all know as Mike Donovan from V the series, or V the telemovies, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so I was really, really interested. This is a totally different character and a totally different role for him. And he plays a barbarian who has a connection with animals because, strangely enough, he was born from a cow. Anyway, that's true. I'm not making this up. When this is like, it's not a spoiler because it's in the first 5 minutes. Maybe that's the reason why he has a connection with the beasts. But yes, he does talk to the animals like Dr. Dolittle, and mostly he talks in to the eagle, doing the whole caw thing. Uh, but he talks mostly English to the ferrets. There's a couple of ferrets in this called Poto and Toto. And they're the comic relief, I guess you can say. And then he also has a tiger that is spray painted black to make it look like a leopard. So this film should not be as good as it is. And I really enjoyed this film. I didn't expect much. I recently watched The Sword and the Sorcerer and I was totally and utterly disappointed with that film. But this one has turned me around back to savage barbarians and magic and stuff. I really, really did like this film. I'm not playing with you. I really did. And so it's pretty much like a Star Wars type thing, like Dar, who is the character that Mark Singer plays, is a orphan, or a supposed orphan, and his village is burned to the ground by a group of barbarian thugs. And so he goes on a quest to try and get revenge on his tribe. And on the way, he meets certain animals that he has a slight connection with, and they become like his friends. And it's it's a an enjoyable film. I think that there are, like a lot of things from 1982, there are a lot of issues. It's not as polished, but this film was directed by Don Cascarelli. Now, if you don't know who Don Cascarelli is, he was the director of Phantasm, and he also did one of my favourites, Bubba Hotep. We'll talk about that at another stage, but I really like Bubba Hotep, and it needs to get a lot more love than what it got originally on its initial release. But So this was when he was just a fledgling director, so he just finished doing Phantasm, and he was getting a bigger film to do, and there was a lot of infighting and everything, like a lot of infighting. It still happens today, you know. You have to look at the, Phil Lord and that with Han Solo. But yeah, so anyway, so there's a lot of sequences. This is a 2-hour film, but you probably could take about at least half an hour out of it, because there is a lot of not much talking and more just like shots of the desert and the animals and that. It's kind of a weird film because the way that he can, because he can communicate, like, because Dar can communicate, or the Beastmaster as you like to call him, can communicate with the animals and also see what they see as well. So the effects are a little bit, they have a like a weird effect around the vision of the animal that he can see. But anyway, it was a really, really like surprising film for me. It also stars Rip Torn, and he has a fake nose that is, oh, it's just awful. He tried to make it look like a vulture, but he ended up looking more like Gargamel from the Smurfs. But and he's not really that menacing. He throws a lot of kids into the fire, into the fire for sacrifices, but he's not a magician or anything like that. He sort of counts on the witches that there are, where the witches have got, they're odd, but that's Don Cascarelli for you. So the witches have beautiful bodies and very ugly faces. I'm not going to say anything funny about that at all. You know, it's not like an inner beauty or anything like that. It's just, you know what I mean. So they're either witches or Karens, one or the other. Anyway, so they do all the magic, and along the way, as Beastmaster Dark continues on his way, he, like I said, he finds out some home truths about his origin, where he comes from, even though we already know. But he doesn't know. So, but anyway, this film was made in 1982, and it could have been filmed yesterday. It looked really, really nice in 4K. This release from Imprint looks really, really nice in 4K. I think this is from the Vinegar Syndrome release as well, that was done about 6 years ago. Because it's not really a restoration either. There are a lot of film negative problems and issues on this copy as well. But for a lot of it, it does look really, really nice. So this Steelbook edition comes with one of these. It comes with a picture like this. And on the other side, see a bit of a bum there. There it is there. Very Frazetta-like artwork. And of course, this is the poster for that. This is the poster that they used for the film itself. So very Star Warsy, but very cool as well. And it comes with 3 discs. One with 4K and the other 2 have the extras. It comes with a really nice redo of the visual effects. If you don't like the visual effects of the 1980s, then you really shouldn't be watching 1980s films. I'm sorry. I love watching the originals. These aren't in 4K either, so they're just a standard Blu-ray. So, I mean, I always go for the original effects on a lot of things. But yes, so this box set also comes with a lenticular cover. Look at that. Nice, eh? Very nice. And a poster. Now the poster is double-sided, and it comes with the Japanese version. If if I can get this out for you. Yeah, that's the Japanese poster. Look at that. Is that sweet or what? Let me see if I can get this out of the way. It's very, very stiff. The poster, that is. Anyway, so there we go. Look at that. Oh, that is wall mountable. Look at that. Great stuff. And on the other side comes with the original American poster. This film, I cannot believe this film was a flop back in the day. But it was. But it still spawned 2 sequels like another decade after. So there is a Beastmaster 2 and there is a Beastmaster 3 as well, all starring Mark Singer. The second one, apparently, I haven't watched it, so I can't actually tell you, but apparently the second one does do a bit of a Masters of the Universe thing where they go to planet Earth, although we don't even know if it's originally Earth anyway, where he's from, but he ends up in New York. So, yeah, it's one of those sequels where it was just cheaper to film it in present day, I guess. But yes, this, I'm really, really stoked that I like this film, and hopefully you guys like it too. Please let me know what you think about it in the comments, if it's one of your favorites. Like I said, I've not had much luck with revisiting a lot of these sword and sorcery films lately. Like I said, The Sword and the Sorcerer, I thought that was terrible. Hawk the Slayer, I know a lot of my British friends are not going to like me for this, but Hawk the Slayer was just an utter, like, awful film. I don't care what you say, it's an awful film, alright? Even if it has been a Bernard Bresslaw in it. But anyway, I hope you like this review and a look back at the Beastmaster. It's, like I said, if you've never seen this film, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully you will too. And like I said, it's a great release. Thank you so much to Imprint for releasing this film. It's an expensive release. It's about $100 Australian. So it's not cheap, but it's been worthwhile for me to actually really, like I said, I've enjoyed this film. And I will watch it again in a later date. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Who am I? Well, I'm Matt Pott, and I can't talk to beasts. See you next time.